Wow. I don't know how these things usually go. This is my first entry in my blog video, obviously. Can't keep my fingers on home row, so it's easier for me just to say what I want to say rather than type what I want to say. I'm saying it, so why even type it when I have the means to vocalize what I want to say? Anyway, the idea struck me to start this because me mates kept on saying, "Oh, I've got a bloke, I got a bloke." Turns out, misheard them. Thought they were saying bloke. They're not gay, but they were saying blog. But at the time, still didn't know what blog meant. Could have been a fancy way of saying I'm coming out. I've got a bloke. Anyway, I thought I'd start this as a means to document my upcoming successes. If you don't know me by now, actually, I don't want you to start knowing me if you don't know me by now. I mean, that is just ridiculous to me. I am Christopher, hairstylist extraordinaire, not necessarily to the stars, lay folk as well, but I am huge in what I do. Okay, I am like the Bono of hair. I would say Jesus of hair, but he had a last name, didn't he? Christ. So today is the launching pad for my product, Christopher product. I'm meeting with my product management team, headed by Miss Brenda Naismith of the Naismith Group. Might have heard of her. She's kind of a big deal. Not as big as me in her particular field, but I gotta give credit where credit is due. I have decided to, I wouldn't say socialize, but engage in business with her, so that should be enough for you to realize how big of a deal Brenda is. But this is a huge step for me, not because I'm advancing my name, helping people across the world, but look good, but which is very important. First impressions start with looks, and particularly hair. They say the first thing a woman looks at when they see a man is their shoes, which is effing ridiculous. Look at the hair. You're not going to be looking at the shoes. You're going to be critiquing the hair, what's in front of you, be playing with it if you play your cards right. Anyway, I digress. But yeah, so it is a huge step for me. Brenda and her team are business types, suits. I usually don't associate myself with suits. I am an artist, and therefore like to surround myself with artistic people, people with social skills. I don't trust suits traditionally, so much so that I refuse to play cards. I mean, I was there at her office at a preliminary meeting, right? And I was in her ante room waiting to hear her spiel, sell her to me. And I was looking around, the reading material was atrocious. The Financial Times, Mutty, Forbes. It's not all about the dollar. Lighten up a little bit. How about some highlights? So I'll be meeting with her and my accountants today, just so every I is dotted, T is crossed. I cross T, yeah, that's right. So, in order to prepare for this new venture, I've looked for wisdom in an untraditional place, a book, a child's book, and it's hard to extract nuggets, life lessons, morals, in a concise manner, but I've managed to do it. Usually you want to read a whole book for that. Don't have the time. So I read something called Aesop's Fables, you know. Great source of inspiration for me, plus time efficient, which I like. ASAP. As soon as possible you got a fable, which is good. I don't know who put the book together, but he was very concise. Must have drawn from a lot of people who shared similar ideals, something that I'm looking to do with my hair. So I'm reading this one particular fable, and it is, I believe, an ox and a frog. Okay, for some reason, an ox and a frog are bounding about, and they must have met on the internet or something. It's a great tool, the internet, whether you be human or a fictitious animal. And anyway, so this frog is hanging around this magnificent beast, this ox, and is very impressed by his size and stature. And he got jealous of his size. So the frog, in his limited wisdom, yeah, why don't you stick to living in land and water and leave bigness to other people, or other animals in this case. So the frog starts to swell himself up by taking massive gulps of air. You know, something like that. Not necessarily. I might have his own style. But yeah, so he's bloating himself up. Bloating. He's blowing himself up. I mean, say what you will about other people, myself included, I would never blow myself. So he's blowing himself up, and he gets to the point where he just fucking bursts. The motherfucker, pardon my language, I can edit this out later. Got the tools. It's my first project. And he just explodes. And the moral of the story is, you know, mass conceit can lead to self-destruction. So, and I said, how is that relevant to me? I'm not a frog. I don't blow myself. How is this relevant to me, Christopher? And I said, Christopher, you got it. All right, read between the lines. Read them as well, but also read between. Because if you don't read the lines, you don't read the story. I mean, it doesn't, out of context, reading doesn't make sense if you just read between the lines. You got to get the whole picture. But I said, Christopher, you have to constantly remind yourself that you are surrounded by frogs that want to be you. You know? But they'll never be you because they self-destruct, they blow up. So, excuse me, had a bit of brie earlier, delicious. Well, not that delicious, it's kind of cheap, kind of, no, it was moldy, actually. I should go back and speak to the manager. Don't have time, because I got to go meet Brenda. And in my next venture, or my next vlog, blog, whatever you like to call it, I will keep you abreast of my success. Toodles, till next time.